Leicester City 0, Manchester United 3. Another win for Manchester United this week. A decent week for Manchester United. I'm joined by Stephen Howson. Steve, 2 wins in a week. Draw against Arsenal as well. Not too bad. Things moving in the right direction.
I think things going in a good direction with what we're putting out on the pitch. And I think you absolutely have to caveat with it. Leicester are dog, mate. Let's have it right.
Sure.
Sociedad was really good because they're not that bad. And I was really, really worried for the Sociedad games. But, on today, we went and did our job against a team that were better than, or should be better than, even with, I'd have to say I think it would be a lot more even with the team that we put out and what you would predict as weaknesses in the team that we put out. And, we saw no Xerxes at the start and everyone kind of went, ugh. That's a bit of a gamble with things being what they are. You're thinking, we've got 2 weeks off at least. Well, it's more than 2 weeks, isn't it? Like, just play everyone. Like, why are you giving anyone a rest? But, fair play. Amorim got everything spot on today, and we made it look quite easy, if anything.
Yeah, a few different key players I want to mention, and I want to mention Amorim in general as well as we move through it. Bruno Fernandes, I've got to start there. It was more goals, more assists, arguably 2 assists. I think Vardy got a flick on one, so I don't know what it will go down as. But another just productive performance from him, stepping up, 31 goals and assists this season now for Man United, when it feels like all the stats we're hearing about goals are how many dozen our strikers haven't scored in. Bruno's got 31 goals and assists this season. He is fantastic, isn't he?
Well, you've got, Xerxes got 1 in how many? Feels like 1 since his debut or the day after his debut, whenever it was, the Everton game. You've got, Garnacho and Garnacho, well done to them for getting on the score sheet tonight, but literally not scored since November or something, the pair of them. And you're like, and Bruno's still creating most chances in Europe. You think if we'd have had goal machines up front, you'd be talking about him having a 30 assist season, probably.
Yeah. He does it every year. When you look at the chances created, every single season, he is in the top 1 or 2 in the Premier League. Most chances created. Every single year he's been here, he's right at the very top. And almost, invariably, he isn't at the top of the assist charts, because even when Rashford got 30 goals, I think it was 17 in the Premier League or 20 in the Premier League? We've never had someone blasting 30, 25 plus goals in the Premier League while he's been here, really.
He was the last person that got 20. Did Zlatan get 20? Did Lukaku get 20?
In terms of league goals, I'm not sure. Did Ronaldo get 20? Did he get 21?
Did he not get 20 overall?
Or maybe it was 17 in the league. I actually don't know the last person who got 20 league goals for us. I'm not sure. Again, that just tells its own story, doesn't it? It may be Zlatan, it may be Lukaku, but we're going
Imagine
back
it's
5-6 years.
RVP.
No, surely not. Surely not. But yeah, it just goes to show that how he performs regardless of the team that he's in. Another player that I think was excellent was Ayden. Obviously, a difficult way to end the game, going off on a stretcher with the kind of inflatable boot on. Andy Mitten tweeted in the last few minutes that he saw him walking out on a sort of plastic boot. So, yes, not great, but not straight to hospital, kind of, let's see what's going on. He did walk out himself with that plastic boot on and crutches. So, bit of a mixed bag, but performance-wise, did you like what you saw from him? I know you weren't as keen as some others and some of his performances, and that's something that you've been speaking about.
Oh no, on his first performance, I thought defended really well. I just thought when people were telling me he was good on the ball, he wasn't in his first game. I thought he was fine. Midweek for sure, I thought he had an excellent performance, and I thought today was on the cards for doing the same thing, good with and without the ball today. Nightmare situation, and the fact that they didn't show us a replay, Andy went down and was waving immediately. I was worried it was a break. I don't know what the situation is. Like you said, I've seen that tweet from Andy. I have no idea what that's going to be. I guess it'll be a scan tomorrow, and then maybe we'll find out tomorrow, Tuesday, what the situation is with him and how long he's likely to be out for. That's a real blow. It's a real blow for progress that he was making out of nowhere, really. And it's a real blow for the rest of the season. Maybe you get Maguire back. Maybe you just now lock off Mazraoui as a left side centre half, maybe, because he's been brilliant at centre half. But yeah, it's a real blow. I'm surprised you've not had a heaven and hell pun ready for me with that one, Joe. I'm going to be honest, a little bit disappointed. You're better than that, and I think you reflect on that and be better next week.
No, that's really heaven and hell. It sums up his game perfectly. I don't know what's gone wrong there, Steve. I can only apologise to you and the audience at home. But let's just move on from that. Let's not talk about that. Rasmus Hojlund and Garnacho, two other players, again, breaking these streaks of 20 whatever games that we keep hearing every single time they don't score. Garnacho, we'll talk about in a minute. Hojlund, I thought was actually a good goal, that. To carry it from outside the box into the box, weak foot across the goalkeeper, showed a bit of quality, a bit of pace. Were you impressed by them? Have you seen any improvements outside the goals, or do you just think, the goals were going to come eventually because you play enough games, you'll get something?
There's a little bit of that. I agree with you. It was a good goal. He took the goal really well, and I thought he took it too far to be able to pull it back. So brilliant accuracy to get it, and early in the game as well. And it set the tone for us for the rest of the match. Actually, didn't look like he was as interested in fucking about after he got his goal as well, because that's been the drama with him. I mean, there was one, I know this is Thursday night, but it just illustrates the point I'm trying to make. There was one where someone's put a ball up, and his first instinct is to start hand fighting with the defender.
Yeah.
Just win the ball.
Yeah.
Or just move away from the defender. Like, he seems to want that interaction for some reason. You don't need it. Like, just move away from them. You don't need to play that game. And maybe it suited us a little bit that for a team in as much trouble and with the quality issues that they've got. I mean, they've lost some serious number of games since Ruud's been there. They play such a high line that it kind of suits what Hojlund is best at doing. And yeah, there's an element of like, look, he's not scoring, is it 1 in 22 after that? And it's not far off, I don't think, for Garnacho. It's only Leicester. But yeah, it's the same Leicester that Bruno scored against. And ultimately, you want to see him scoring goals. The difference between them and Bruno is Bruno's done it for months, just leveling up that consistency. Can you two now take a lead from him, a bit of confidence from the fact you've got a goal, and actually start finding the back of the net a little bit more consistently? You've got some weeks off now. I don't think Garnacho got selected for internationals. I'm assuming Hojlund did. So work on it. Have a little bit of a change of pace, a little bit of a change of environment. Come back with a little bit more honing of your craft and see if you can find the net a little bit more consistently. Because you're getting the shots off. You're just not getting the goals.
Yeah, I mean, Garnacho typically has a lot more shots than Hojlund, but Hojlund, it was nice to see actually have a few shots as well today. Another player, I don't know what you made of him tonight. I thought De Ligt was excellent today. I don't know if you agree with me. I just thought, like, whenever the ball's near him, he just sorts it out and he gets
he's a warrior.
Yeah.
He's a no-frills centre-half, and I think you need that.
Yeah. He's actually good, isn't he? I think he's gone under the radar this season as having I think he's had a really good season. And I feel like a little bit of his reputation before he came, that he was on this kind of downward career path.
Yeah, because of fuckwits like fucking Graham Souness, who clearly saw him once on that run that he was on with fucking Ajax to the semi-final that year when he was 17.
Yeah, 2019.
And went, he's a bit lightweight. Yeah, he's a child, Graham, you fuckwit. Whereas he's grown into a bit of a unit, and every time I see him play, and he mullers someone, because it happens every single game that he smashes somebody. Yeah. All I think is, Graham Souness thinks this idiot's fucking lightweight. Yeah. Like,
it's just nonsense, isn't it? It's absolute nonsense.
I think when you weigh it up, the signings that Ineos have made so far, I don't want to jinx it, but they've been pretty damn good on the whole.
They have. I mean, if even including Heaven and Obi in there as well. I think Heaven obviously has had a bit more impact on the first team. But De Ligt was very good. Mazraoui technically has been very good. I think even Ugarte, who we spent a bit more on, I think when he plays he's very good. Lenny Yoro, another one who's been good when he played. I think Xerxes was the one where he's a striker but he doesn't score. But even that, in the last few games, and I feel like he's finding his stride about who he is as a player. And he's been able to do things on the ball that he was struggling to do earlier in the season. I think
they all look serviceable at least, don't they?
Yeah, they do. None of them have been these catastrophic failures that we've seen sort of sporadically over the last decade.
Your Antonids, for example.
Yeah, exactly. We've not had any of that. And certainly, even at worst, we can't possibly waste 90 million euros on any of them because none of them cost that or anywhere near that. Just bigger picture then, looking at the team, I think I saw a stat that I think since the start of January, United have played 17 games. We've won 9, drawn 4, lost 4. That doesn't add up to 17. Yes, it does. That is a definite improvement over the sort of spell that we had before that horrible December where everyone looked like we needed to sell him immediately. Are you starting to see some threads coming together as to what Amorim wants this team to be?
I don't know if you clocked this, the first 10, 15 minutes it was really pronounced because Leicester was sort of slowly trying to feed their way into the game. After the first maybe 15, it got a little bit fractured and it settled a little bit. But United were trying to go man for man in the press, which can be quite risky to do because what you obviously want to be +1 in your back line, which means that you can't quite go man for man across the forward line because maths and that, right? Yeah. So we was trying to really push on and cover off every single man, and I was seeing Bruno kind of orchestrate a little bit because my first thought was Leicester had the ball kind of on the edge of their third and the middle third, and we're looking to try and play it in, and I was like, fuck me, Bruno's a bit high. You know, for what you're expecting to be a 3-4-3-ish shape off the ball, I was like, he's a bit high. And I was thinking, who's he trying to pick up there? And then next thing you know, they've tried to play it to their right, our left, and fucking Agate's right up the arse of someone. I'm like, oh, no, the whole lot of them are high here. And I clocked that for a few times, and then I think they ended up playing the ball in the air, and Ayden won the ball. And then United won the ball, and we moved up the pitch, and I was like, I like that. That's obviously worked on. That's obviously tactics. That's obviously shape. That's obviously what Amorim's trying to get into the team here. So I was just trying to kind of make a bit of a mental note of that. Is this something that he's trying to do? Again, you do have to take into account it's Leicester and they're shite. But for once, we've actually turned up and put in a solid performance, an enjoyable performance against a team that was shite, and you know, we scored 3 goals and got a clean sheet. So pretty happy with that.
Yeah, pretty happy with that indeed. Right, thank you, Steve. Thanks for coming on. Thank you for joining us at home as well. Get your thoughts in the comments below. And are we starting to see, finally, some green shoots? Just not much, but just some ideas. Maybe some sprigs of growth in spring, eh? What do you make of that? Might be, eh? Something like that. No, I can't make up for the heaven and hell thing now. It's too late. See you in a bit.